And while the jihadists extend their control over Syria's border with Turkey, Ankara has been bolstering its defences. It sent tanks and soldiers, while Parliament has approved defensive military action against Islamic State. Several Turkish towns have been hit by shells fired from Syrian territory. And one eyewitness on the Turkish side of the border says Ankara's forces are already retaliating.
One of the tanks already fired twice this morning towards Kobani, and last night there was shelling 2 or 3 times. Some of the shells even landed on Turkish territory.
Well, let's now bring in defence consultant Moeen Raoof to discuss the situation further. Welcome to the programme. Turkey is accused of not doing anything to help Kurdish militias across the border in Syria. Why is Ankara so reluctant to intervene?
Well, there are 2 reasons. First of all, if they allow the Kurdish personnel or the Turkish Kurdish personnel to enter Syria, they will become armed and trained, and they'll return and could pose a problem for Turkey itself. But the other reason is I think Turkey wants the situation in Syria to get worse. So that would compel the self-appointed international community to intervene in a acute, shall we say, humanitarian problem that's growing across the border. So they're allowing the so-called IS to carry out atrocities. But let's not forget that they were supporting the FSA, who only became the IS when they crossed the border into Iraq. Before that, they were the friendly rebels for the international community.
And we also know, of course, that US-led airstrikes are continuing. This morning, several targets were hit near Kobani, but militants are still in the city. They're controlling several districts there. Therefore, how effective is this bombing campaign?
Well, obviously, airstrikes are never effective. Let's not forget that the Americans bombed the Phantom Group Khorasan in Aleppo, which is completely outside the area that they claim the IS is operating in, again being a war crime. But airstrikes obviously are not effective, but this is a very slow motion build-up for calls for ground troops to enter Syria and Iraq. For an ultimate objective, which I can discuss later.
Now, the Turkish parliament will allow foreign troops to be deployed in Turkey to fight Islamic State. Do you believe the West is going to use this opportunity for themselves?
Well, obviously, then they can meet their objective of toppling President Assad, who they blame for the rise of IS. But again, like I said, the IS only became the IS after they crossed into Iraq, and they were the friendly FSA when they were in Syria. So had they remained in Syria, they would have been the good guys. But yeah, they want to intervene in Syria, and they really want to achieve the objective of overthrowing the Syrian sovereign government.
Defence consultant Moeen Raoof, always great to get your input on the programme. Thank you for joining us.